Hey everybody, thank you so much for joining me. This is part 3 of my totally mega 1980s adult coloring book and printables collection. If you've stuck with me, you've hopefully seen the first and second video, but I'm launching into the final batch now, which includes 80s movie themed books, some Star Wars, some more printables, and some of my 1980s vintage reproduction collectible and collectibles. I mentioned in my last video, I was showing you my Little Pony, my Care Bears, my Strawberry Shortcake, my Barbie, adult coloring books and printables that took me forever to find and collect, and that I have in a bin next to me since I'm currently getting shelves built. Some of my collectibles, where I was going to show you some of this stuff that I've kept for years and years and years in the box. I was showing you my Care Bears coloring books, but this is a cute little Care Bears miniature collection I got for Christmas like 7 years ago. And I never took them out of the box, but they'd be like, you know, I work at home. If I had a desk and I worked in an office, I would have put them on the desk. So I just wanted to show you these. And I showed you some of my 1980s stuffed Care Bears in my last video. I also showed you my Strawberry Shortcake coloring books, but I also have this Strawberry Shortcake, the original 1980s design, these classic dolls that were released to replicate the originals a few years back, and I bought them all. They're all still in the box. I have all the different characters. The rest are packed away somewhere else at the moment. This is the only one I could grab, and they do completely smell like Strawberry Shortcake. This one smells like blueberries. But I love to display my goods on the shelves. I also showed you in my Little Pony book some of the pictures I did. But I have this one, my still in the box Cotton Candy My Little Pony, 1983. She's my favorite, the pink. I also like the Blossom, the lavender one. Bluebell, those are my favorites. And you can collect them all. Here they are here. So they're much more valuable and pretty to display them in the box, which I have about 40 of them, which go on shelves. And lastly, I was showing you my adult coloring book Barbie pages. I told you I have all of the holiday Barbies from 1988 to 2000, never removed from box, that I have saved from my childhood. And I was able to grab the 1989 one to show you, which is right here. And so here it is. Can't really stand it up where I'm recording here, but this was special edition 1989, the Happy Holidays Barbie. It's a little like faded, you know, dusty inside, but it's never been taken out of the box. So it's probably worth a good chunk of money. I don't really know. But I have all of them. The first one they ever made, so sorry about that light reflection. The first one they ever made was 1988, and that's the first one I have, and that's the most valuable. But that one I have locked away in a safe, and it's really hard to find a decent, good condition one that is still in the box. So, fun stuff to look at. Okay, I'm going to show you now the coloring books from TV and movies. This is my Little House on the Prairie coloring book. Obviously, Little House on the Prairie started in the 70s, but it went into the early 80s. I grew up on it in the 80s. Reruns to this day. I still watch Little House on the Prairie. I have them all on Blu-ray. This is a really nice book. It's a storybook with some of the original images where in grayscale that you can also color in, or like in pencil drawings. So, and it's different images from some of the different novels. Whoopsie! Cat just knocked over my pens. Go somewhere else and find something to do. Go on, go on. So you have, you know, you can color it in, and you can also have it as a story. It's more based on the young child or toddler version. Just some of the highlight quotes from the books. Some of the original artwork from the first artist to do the pictures. On the banks of Plum Creek. Who's a Little House on the Prairie fan? I love Little House on the Prairie. Got kind of weird around season 7 and 8 when they were all grown up, but I loved like the first 5 or 6 seasons. I don't even know who my favorite character would be. I think Harriet Olsen is my favorite character. She's hilarious. She just makes me laugh every single time. Everyone says, Michael Landon. I say no, Harriet Olsen. I want to be Harriet Olsen when I get old. That's who I want to be. I'm be the grumpy old snarky snooty lady that everybody wants to avoid so no one can cause me stress. That's what will make me live longer. I'm so funny. Okay, so this is my Little House on the Prairie. It's the only one I could really find, and I do think it's, I don't love how it has words in it. I wish there could be just a straight up coloring book, but it does have these. If you have the original blue paperback series from the 80s, which I have in a box set, you will see these images in those books. The first 4 years. So there's a few images from each of the original books. So the beautifully designed coloring book includes iconic artwork and quotes from all nine original Little House on the Prairie books, which I guess is why there was there 9 seasons of Little House? Yeah, I guess that's why, but they kind of went off the rails with the last couple seasons. Okay, let's look at, wait until you see this. I was so totally stoked when I found this book. This is the Goonies official coloring book. Nothing radiates classic, iconic 80s movies more than the Goonies. The Goonies was filmed in Cannon Beach on the Oregon coast, and I live in Oregon, just like Overboard was filmed in Oregon, so that's pretty cool. I love the Goonies. It's like a very early version of the Nicolas Cage, you know, National Treasure movies. I still love this movie, and my son, who's 25, only recently saw it for the first time. So I don't know. I guess I did something wrong not showing it to him sooner. It's very shiny and thick book. It's even hard to open a little bit. It's very stiff spine. So there's Chuck. Here are the bad guys. It kind of tells the story from beginning to end if you kind of remember the movie. There's the house on the beach. Them breaking the little thingy off the statue. Going to the empty restaurant. Oh, they're going, finding the treasure map. That's a young Josh Brolin right there. This is so cool. I actually bought this whole book just for the pirate ship coloring page. I mean, I don't need tons of pages of the boys to color, but I just thought it was really cool artwork. It's a stiff. I found the body. I remember that scene. This kid was hilarious. Contraption kid. Just doing a quick flippy here. Now they're underground now. They're looking for One-Eyed Willie. There's Mikey, which is Sean Astin. Here it is. Love this 2-page spread with the underground cave pirate ship with One-Eyed Willie. I think this was so cool. It's gonna take forever to do this picture, but I think I'm gonna do it. Something different. This one is pretty cool. Here's One-Eyed Willie. There's the treasure map. There's, oh God, what's his name? Chuck and, is it Buzz? Or, no, Buzz was his brother? Oh, what they named the creature guy? Lump? Is it Lump or something? I don't remember. So that's the Goonies coloring book. Really cool artwork. I really like it. And this is by Insight Editions. Well, it doesn't say, but you can search for it because it's the only one I could find on Amazon. Talking about movies, here's kind of an awesome one. This speaks 80s more than even the Goonies. The Princess Bride coloring book with Carrie Elwes and Robin Wright, and I love this guy. And this also kind of starts out with the characters, and then it kind of follows the storyline. This guy who plays the bald-headed, weirdo, high nasally pitched voice guy was also in Desperate Housewives character. One of my favorite shows. There's Robin Wright. Also, The Princess Bride was a classic novel, but the movie was based on a novel. I'm not sure if you knew that. I have the leather-bound Easton Press edition. It's actually a lot more in that novel than there is in the movie. But the witticisms, I think were added more for movie effect. The humor version of The Princess Bride, the way we know it. And some of these basic portraits bore me, but I had to show it because Princess Bride is classic 80s. Another classic 80s movies I would have loved to have seen in a coloring book is Highlander. The original Highlander movie. The guy, or the Queen song, Who Wants to Live Forever, is from soundtrack from that movie. I can't remember the name of the actor. That's a movie my brother and I watched so many times. Here's the book being read to him. So some of these are kind of boring, but you know, you can doctor them up or just do a couple. So that is the Princess Bride coloring book by nobody in particular, but here is the ISBN number. Or you can search for the Princess Bride coloring book. So speaking of movies, get ready because I have a Gremlins coloring book from 1980s. You know, I did not learn that Gremlins was a Christmas movie until like a couple years ago. I just thought it was always like a Halloween horror movie. I never associated it with a Christmas movie. So like I'm a little slow. Let's just. So it has some really cool looking gremlins in it. This could actually be a good Halloween book. But they're kind of cute, you know, right? Like that was the whole thing. Gremlins are cute and then they're not. They remind me, some of them remind me of Ewoks or Pokemon characters. Cute little guys. These are kind of boring, so I'm going to go fast. Just wanted you to get a quickie look at this. You can tell I'm going faster through the books I don't like as much. But yeah, they're definitely Gremlins. I would have liked to have seen more scenes from the movie than just the characters in this book. Or just the Gremlins themselves, but it's more of a gremlin creature, not a gremlin movie book. I'm going to turn it for these. These ones are not very significant, worth turning the book for. That one's kind of cool. Looks like Yoda. So the last few are landscape. So just wanted you to see this. I loved Gizmo. I'm not sure if you knew there was a Gremlins coloring book. So that is out there for anybody who's interested. Kind of generic, but cute little critters in there. Speaking of movies, we are on to the Dark Crystal coloring book. Very iconic 1980s Dark Crystal. Beautiful artwork in this book. This is probably one I like as much as the Goonies one. Love the cover. Love everything about it. Has a test page at the beginning. Very mature and detailed drawings. Really neat looking characters. I don't remember the movie, but I know I watched it many times as a kid. I remember Willow. Willow was one of my favorites. I don't remember the Dark Crystal. Secret of Nim. That one I remember. Dark Crystal. That's cool. It's almost like a movie poster for all the characters. So if you like fantasy and like pop culture, you might like this one. It's almost more sci-fi. Sci-fi and fantasy. This is my favorite one. This is cool. I like that one a lot. Some of them are like, eh. Sometimes I only might see 2 pictures in an entire book that I would want to do, but it's worth it to me to buy the book or keep the book. Dark crystal. Okay. So that is the Dark Crystal coloring book, also from Amazon. By the way, I'm linking all of these books in my comments. For each of my 3 videos, the books you see in that video will be linked in the comments to click if you want to check it out on Amazon, so you don't have to go searching for them. I forgot to mention that in my other videos. I want to move on to, I only have a few things left, a couple printables and 2 more books. I'm saving Star Wars for last, but I want to show you my Smurfs printables I found online. I could not find a decent adult Smurfs coloring book. That was like the original ones, and I wish they would do that. They did have some of the, like the newer from the Smurf movie kid ones, but not quite what I was looking for. So there was one single one of Smurfette 2, but I didn't print that one. My Smurfs, and this is from the Pound Puppies. If you remember, the Pound Puppies were a very popular toy in the 80s. I had some Pound Puppies, so I have a few Pound Puppies coloring pages. There's a Pound Puppies coloring book you can buy on Etsy, all the original pages. These 2 I found for free, but I'm sure it's from that book. And they're really super cute. These are my Pound Puppies. I also showed you another, my My Little Pony adult coloring book in the last video. I found a vintage, actual 1980s My Little Pony coloring book on Etsy, and I bought it. And, you know, when you go through the PDF, it shows the pictures this way, but no matter what I did when I printed them, they came out like this. I could not get it to print the way it looked. It has something to do with whoever took the pictures as JPEGs and put it in. They rotated them, and the PDF reader is recognizing the original way, and I can't get it. I can't change the landscape portrait. It won't change. So I didn't print any of those, but this is one from that, and I really would have liked to print more of those because I really want to do those pictures. I showed you my ones from Alf and Barbie and Rainbow Bright and Back to the Future in my last video. So lastly, I'm going to show you Star Wars. Yes, Star Wars came out in the 70s, the original Star Wars series. However, I believe Return of the Jedi and maybe Empire Strikes Back was in the early 80s, which is when I was a kid. So I have here the Art of Coloring hardback Star Wars 100 images to inspire from the original Star Wars and Crayola's Art of Edge Star Wars. There's also show you this here, a Crayola Art of Edge Mandalorian for the newer series, but we're just doing 80s, so I'm only showing you this Star Wars one. Let's look at this first. These are very inexpensive, and it comes with a full-on poster and pictures that are already done in like individual pictures, which is kind of neat, ready to go. So there are a lot of pictures from some of the original movies. There might be some mixed in from everything. There's a classic Darth Vader Luke picture. These are from the newer series, so this would be later on, but it does have, that's Rey. Yeah, so it does have Obi-Wan. I saw a bunch of Leia ones in here, though. Here's one of the original Star Wars machines. This is from Empire Strikes Back. As is this, probably from Star Wars. That's Rey again, I think. These are attached to the bottom. There's Chewie. Love Chewie. This is, I'm not sure. So yeah, there's some different era of Star Wars here, but there's also some of the originals, Darth Vader and Leia, which is my son's favorite, so I wanted to include that. So this is a lot less expensive than the book if you want the posters to color. There's Han Solo. This is a great one. What is this? Oh, I'm confused. Which is the right way? This way? Yeah. Okay. I didn't see R2-D2 and C-3PO, but this is Empire Strikes Back as well. Why don't they have C-3PO and R2 in there? That's a disappointment. Definitely they are in the book, however. So in the book, this is a gorgeous book, Art of Coloring. It's a hardback, gold corner, huge, large size book by Disney, obviously. Love this book. It's beautiful, shiny inside pages. It's kind of like some of the other Disney books, the Disney villains. It does have a lot of like busy stuff that I wouldn't probably do. Busy background, busy wallpapers. They did some Star Wars mandalas you can see here. But there's some beautiful original pictures in here, like Leia. Lots of Star Wars mandalas, which is kind of weird. And these kind of more portrait character ones. There's C-3PO. Or is that R2? C-3PO. All right. I'm being old. My son would be like, are you kidding me? How can you not know the difference? Both my sons are Star Wars nut jobs. They're both in their 20s and 30s. So let's just keep on going through here so you can get a look-see. There's some of the original characters. What really makes them mad is when I mix up Star Trek and Star Wars all the time when I'm talking. So I just cover my bases and I say Star Trek Wars. Star Trek Wars. I'm like, oh, isn't the character from Star Trek Wars? And so that I can't really be wrong either way because I can never remember their names or where they're from. This is from the original series. Ooh, there's Leia. That's a great one. Carrie Fisher's greatest work. I don't know why there's so many darn Star Wars mandalas in there, though. That's kind of weird. Oh, Darth Vader. Sweet. What was the exact year? Alexa, what year did Empire Strikes Back come out?
The film Star Wars, Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back was released on June 30th, 1980.
1980. Alexa, what year did Return of the Jedi come out?
The film Star Wars, Episode 6, Return of the Jedi was released on May 25th, 1983.
83, yeah. So yeah, I was right. It was the Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi that came out in the 80s, which is what I associate with my childhood. It's nice to have Alexa to tell you things. Alexa, what year did the first Star Wars movie come out?
The first film in the Star Wars franchise, Star Wars, Episode 4, A New Hope, was released on May 25th, 1977.
1977, so I was, what, like 3 years old then? Apparently I saw it in the theater, my mom said, but I don't remember. I saw the very first Star Wars in the theater when I was 3, almost 4 years old. So that is the end of The Art of Coloring Star Wars. This book was probably more expensive in the 20 range, I guess. I've basically shown you everything from my 1980s collection. Video 1 had a lot of general 80s pop culture books and some hot, you know, kind of sexy 80s actors. Number 2, I had the pop culture toy books, and then that and some more printables, and I think I about covered it. So if you're starting not on 1 or 2 and you started with 3, go back and find those videos. And if you liked this video, please comment below or like, or feel free to share, as it really helps my channel. I hope you enjoyed and found some stuff you like. I will link everything below that is available for sale on Amazon. Some of the others I found just randomly by searching for the printables. And I am looking forward to seeing you guys in another future video. Thanks for your support.